You are about to witness bodily dismemberment, sub-zero temperatures, and all-out mayhem. Brought to you by the Frontline Network.
Sup, COH fans, and welcome to episode 17 of Frontline Fatalities Season 3, brought to you by the Frontline Network, presented by me, FatalSaint, and my good friend Tommy. What's up, Tommy?
What's up, Fatal? We are here on the fields of Kolodny Farmer Battlefields to bring you guys another great KO2 1v1, this time between two players you will no doubt have heard of, both of them. Playing for the German side, we are going to have Mr. Siberian. That is the new Siberian, as some people like to call him. Of course, there was the old Siberian platoon, the original COH expert, possibly the best ever KO1 player to have ever lived. He is now serving with the Ukrainian military. But we have the new Siberian, who is also part Russian. He's going to be playing as the Germans, so he's fighting his own countrymen. And he's going to be playing against the Russian player, who is going to be played by VonIvan.
VonIvan versus Siberian, two buddies in the streaming world. I know that much from watching both Siberian and VonIvan stream a bit of Company of Heroes 2 now and then, and you can find their stream links in the Twitch TV, the / the Frontline Network channel. There's a huge community link list there, so you go check out those streamers over there. But we're at the 5-second mark. You ready to go, Tommy?
I'm ready.
Pause in 3, 2, 1, unpause. 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So let's see if VonIvan goes for the classic fast T70 strat, which he favors greatly, or if he's gonna go do something completely different.
Well, I've been eyeing up some rather interesting-looking commanders from Ivan's side. We've got a couple of DLC commanders, a few of which I'm not too familiar with. We've got the urban defense tactics, which give you the ability to convert a forward headquarters. Now, this is a 0 CP ability, so he could theoretically do this right away, given the manpower. It also unlocks a special light AT gun, the 45mm, gives him some booby traps, and an incendiary artillery barrage. So, some pretty cool abilities there. He has another one, which I haven't seen too often either. This is one that I really want to see. It's the one that has the B4 203mm howitzer at the end.
Oh, super howitzer.
Yeah, I haven't seen it in action yet.
It's like one massive shell that kills everything. It's kind of like railway RD, you know, one shell of railway RD. It's a huge explosion and it kills everything in the vicinity. The splash is massive.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it in action. I do hope we see it. I mean, the other commander he's got is just the very standard. Came with the original game, still very popular. It's guard, rifle, combined arms, tactics, gives you guards, hit the dirt, conscript assault package, the big Howie. Not as big as the really big Howie, but they're still big Howie, and the IL-2, so a very nicely balanced doctrine, and I think that was the one that was used in a lot of the early rounds of our World Championship, but I think later on we saw all when we got down to the finals, they were all using guard motor coordination tactics.
Yeah, exactly.
With the T-34s, yeah.
Yeah, T-34-85s, that was extremely popular, and it's still fairly popular. I still see those.
Still popular, yeah.
We saw it in the Wi-Fi tournament as well, the community tournament, where I think Siberian used it.
Good effects, yeah.
T-34-85s versus P4 Armada. It didn't work out for him in one game, but in other games it worked pretty well. First engagement here between some conscripts and two Grens out from Siberian so far. Third Gren just hitting the field as well, so going very Gren heavy, no MG support so far. These conscripts are taking quite a lot of health damage. Not exactly sure what's going on right now in the center. No one really wants to engage each other, so Siberian is just gonna send his Grens down south to go capping. At the same time, he has his first initial Pioneer capping the fuel in the north, so he's got that connected for now. So he has secured himself some fuel for teching. So third grenadier out now, going to find his conscript squad very, very damaged. He needs to get back into the house. He tried to get the strategic point outside of the German base.
Just got there in the nick of time.
Just got in the circle of capping and denied that. At the same time, he is grabbing the cutoff of VonIvan instantly. He's pushing for that. That's why he left. He wasn't going capping in the south. He was going for the cutoff.
Yeah, that's the benefit of this kind of Gren heavy opening. I mean, obviously MG42 is great and all, but with all these Grens, you get a lot of mobility, and that cutoff move is actually cutting off a good chunk of Ivan's resources.
Yeah, at least you could look at it this way. He's losing the resources down in the south, but what's been capping down there is just an unupgraded combat engineer squad, which is now getting engaged by one of the Grens from Siberian. And Siberian went triple Gren with an MG follow-up, so 4 tier 1 units, but a mortar. You don't see mortars that often, not this early at least. It's obviously something that he wants to use to get rid of these conscripts in buildings. I'm pretty sure that both Siberian and VonIvan have played plenty of games against each other, and he knows that VonIvan favors using buildings, like a lot of players do, so the mortar is most likely a response to just that.
Who doesn't like using buildings?
At the same time, Ivan gets Molotovs to counter the building usage from Siberian.
Well, this is a map that tends to be really dominated by how you use the buildings, because you got that building there in the center left, which if you hold it as a Russian player, it's really, really powerful, because obviously it does mean you control that strategic point just outside the German base there. And then similarly, you got another building that was just jumped into by these grenadiers over here on the right-hand side. Similarly, if you hold this building as Germans, again, very, very powerful.
Yeah, it can be extremely hard to dislodge units from these buildings. Very forward buildings, very close to your own base, and very close to the cutoffs as well. Molotov goes into the building, puts it on fire. Grens vacate the house, very badly damaged, down to 2 men, but he is not going to retreat. He's gonna go, wow, with 1 man now. Nice crit from one of the conscripts.
Yeah, those conscripts, they fired 2 rounds, each one killed the guy.
Yeah, very, very accurate. They've had some proper training. Very surprising, I gotta say. There we go, MG out now, so very huge tier 1. He's gonna add on a 4th grenadier as well, on top of this 3 Gren, 1 MG, 1 mortar build so far. So I might be expecting Sib go for a fast tier 3 maybe?
Well, that's what we saw yesterday, wasn't it? We saw some large tier 1s in our 2v2 game.
Yeah.
And then, you know, followed up into a quick tier 3. So you would expect, it would be very unusual to go for such a large tier 1 only to then go into tier 2.
Nice combat upgrade for these grenadiers. An LMG in the middle of a fight against a conscript squad.
Right there,
that was just instant win for that grenadier squad, as the conscript squad actually ran through its own Molotov, lost 1 man and a bit of health as well. Then the LMG pops up on the Gren squad and they just mince the remaining conscripts, forcing them to retreat. So the cutoff is yet again in Siberian's hands, cutting off the entire southern part of the map. At the same time, the fuel in the north is in Ivan's hands, so he still has a pretty healthy income. But it looks like, yeah, you know, Siberian is kind of stabilizing, but at the same time, obviously he hasn't teched whatsoever. He's still in tier 1, and he's not been building anything in his base. So, it kind of... anything can happen so far, depending on Ivan. If he goes for this fast T-70 right now, there will be no packs, there will be no Panzer Grenadiers with Shreks, for example. The only thing that will be on the field to at least, you know, kind of halt the advance of a T-70 or a T-34 is Fausts, and it's just not going to kill it.
Well, it doesn't look like the Russian player is actually going to be going for vehicles, because his first guard squad has just hit the field. He has gone down the guard motor tactics, so he's going down the good old favorite, the old reliable.
Yeah, he got a guard squad on the field, and I'm guessing he's got hit the dirt, and PPSHs will be coming soon as well.
Yep, he's got all of that unlocked, so we'll be seeing some PPSHs shortly.
Looks to me that the Soviet player Ivan has had map dominance in, you know, the majority of the game so far. So how's his banking looking right now? He must be fairly comfortable right now with fuel and stuff.
He's sitting on about 100 fuels, so he could start building a tech building, and then he'd have to wait a little while before he could build anything really big.
Well, he's got tier 1, so it's a stepping stone to the next tier, tier 3 or tier 4, if he decides to go that, or if he decides to go for something funky like a tier 1, tier 2, but I don't believe he would do something like that.
He does actually have an engineer just sitting idle in his base, so I would guess that he's waiting to start building his tier 3 or tier 4 building.
Grenadiers forced to retreat in the south. MG got Molotov, just relocates, doesn't retreat, very low health. At the same time, at a northern fuel point, Gren versus Conscript. Not exactly sure who's going to win this fight here. It depends a little bit on the crits now. At the same time, we do have, I believe a Conscript squad might have gone down entirely at the northern VP. The left-hand side one.
I think you might be right. We are down to just 3 conscripts.
Yeah, I just see a lot of corpses there and an LMG equipped grinning. So I'm guessing they mashed up some conscripts really good.
They're feeling happy.
Yeah, very.
It is a tier 3 that we have now from the Russian player.
Yeah, so it's got to be a T70 or a T34. I'm expecting at least. You know, M5 is also a possibility, but I don't think so.
Another conscript squad goes down, mowed down by that same grenadier squad.
Oh wow, yeah, he popped in the building and I see corpses everywhere. I actually missed the engagement there as well. At the same time, the MG gets killed off by a nice URA use on a conscript squad, getting on the flank of the MG, sitting idle by a fire, and he's gonna grab that weapon very quickly, packing it up, might be going for a retreat instantly, or might be keeping it in the field. Now there's the retreat on the MG. At the same time, at the cutoff, there's a battle between an LMG equipped Grens versus guards.
These LMGs are absolutely ripping the Russians to shreds.
Yeah, they are not to be laughed at, those LMGs. They really, really pack a good punch for the German players. It's a, you know, to me, it's basically like, you know, an instant choice. You got 60 munitions just floating, you're not thinking about putting down any teller mines or anything like that. Just get an LMG, why not? It's not going to hurt you in any way. And obviously doing so much damage, you get a lot of XP.
Exactly, yeah. You do an awful lot of damage, even if you're not killing, although obviously they are killing.
They're killing a lot
killing
of stuff.
And damaging, so it's the best of both worlds, really.
A bit of an
PPSHs are coming in now for the Russian player.
Yeah, a bit of a shaky start for VonIvan here by losing 2 squads already at the, you know, below the 10-minute mark. So that's going to affect his capping game right now, which means that Siberian now is capping, you know, whatever sectors he needs. He's got the center in control, the munitions there for quite a while, so his munitions income is very healthy. At the same time, he's fighting over this northern fuel over and over again. It's taken him quite a while to try and get it back here, and he keeps getting it stolen from him, but, you know, he's got to keep fighting for that. At the same time, he's obviously guarding this cutoff at the south.
Yeah, look at all these Grens, 3 Gren squads. MG42 does finally come out, going to try and suppress some of these Grens, but they just hop straight in that building.
Ooh, might be a grenade from the guards here, though, if he has the munitions required to throw one. In those smaller buildings, 1 grenade
He doesn't have the munitions for it.
Oh, it's horrible. Horrible.
He's on 13 munitions.
He's gonna maybe at least connect it before being forced to retreat due to this LMG Gren. At the same time, another Vet 2 Gren is going up north to try and combat this PPSH upgraded conscript squad that just threw a Molotov in the building at the northern fuel, just trying to stall that Gren squad in there. The guards managed to get the cap, but at 5 out of 6 casualties, and the mortar rains down on the stolen MG42, forcing that to retreat. So he's just going to lose his cutoff once again in just a few seconds.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was worth it. He does have a T70 building. It's going to be hitting in about 10 seconds.
It's
so that's his...
quite late.
It is quite late, really, isn't it? I mean, we are now up to almost... Yeah, it's going to be hitting around 11 minutes 30, by which point I see there is already tier 3 up in the German base. So even though there doesn't appear to be a counter on the field right now, not a hard counter anyway, there probably will be in the coming minutes.
Yeah, it's a fuel issue right now for Siberian. He's got 65 fuel in the bank. He needs 115 for a P4. So it's going to take him a little while, but he's grabbing the north and the south fuel at the same time. Problem now, T70 is already on the field. So this is basically a breakthrough unit now, which is pushing tons of conscripts in front of it. On my screen. That's just horrible. Oh, yeah. That is just cruel. What are you doing, T70? They're your own guys. Stop pushing them around. Yeah, I know they're dead, but jeez. Humanity. The humanities. Oh, that's a horrible retreat path for that German mortar.
That mortar.
What happened?
Watching that mortar getting really bugged out. One of the crew members kept on running up and down the fence line. and kept on getting nuked by the T-70.
Oh, it's terrible, terrible. He might be able to cap the southern fuel. It is in his control. The northern fuel is in his control. Plus 30 fuel for Siberian right now, which means he has to wait less than a minute to start production of that P4. Manpower-wise, he's about a 500 manpower banking right now. He's got a medic bunker up in his base, just upgraded as well, so there will be no problem. As soon as he gets that fuel, that T-70 will be countered. But right now, there's still a good minute or so.
Counter.
There's not going to be any counter
I don't know,
at all.
It was a bit of a weird reaction, I think, from Siberian, because he sort of did a mass retreat. I mean, at this point, surely that T-70 could just go sit in the base and just kite those Grens, because he knows they are all in the base. He can't even be flanked.
He might be afraid of tellers.
Might be afraid of tellers, but generally in this kind of situation, if a shock unit arrives that you're not ready for, best bet is to just waste time, run around buildings, make him chase you, stuff like that. There's only one T-70, and there's a lot of Grens. But
no, there's 5 Grens for Siberian. He's
Yeah,
lost his MG, but that's basically it. And he's got veterans here, all of them. Vet 1 across the board, and 1 squad is even Vet 2 already. 3 with LMGs as well. Might be a Faust on the T-70 here to try and stop the advance towards the German base. There goes the Faust. Instant retreats afterwards. He's just buying time right now. Did he just get a destroyed engine? Heavy engine damage on that T-70.
That is unfortunate.
That is like jackpot for Siberian right now.
Yeah, now he's just got to wait for his people to arrive and he can start hunting it down.
Yeah, he's waiting for the fuel. 1 fuel remains. There we go. Instantly queues the P4. He was waiting for that. He was sitting in his tier 3 and just spamming the build button on that P4. As soon as he hit 115 fuel, he knows that he needs that P4 very, very quickly to try and counter this T-70 right now, because look at the map. It's all in Ivan's hands all of a sudden. You know, all of these PPSH upgraded conscript, the T-70 harassing his infantry, his very large tier 1, the stolen MG42. So he sorely needs that P4 to get rid of that T-70 and stop the advance of the Soviet player right now.
Well, you know what that T-70 could do? It could actually use a field repair.
Yeah, it could. Does he have the munitions for it?
He did have the munitions, but he just spent them.
Grenade on the guards, I think.
That would be it.
Oh, and the guards get rifle nades. Only loses 1 man though. Not really worth it. They were quite spaced out. A German mortar though is doing good for Siberian, I gotta say. It magically lived due to that very silly retreat before, and it's just now laying on the hurt on these hit the dirt conscripts. You know, it's a brilliant target for a mortar. A stationary infantry squad, yes, thank you very much.
But look at the map though. I mean, Siberian, he's been knocked down to just a single sector.
Yeah, but this T-70 is quite literally a sit and duck right now. He's got a destroyed engine, and this P4 is on the field. Pretty cool looking skin, I gotta say.
Yeah, I think he should have waited to use that field repair, to be honest. Then he could have gotten that T-70 out of there nice and easy. Instead,
yeah, one shot, one T-70,
good
goodbye. So all of a sudden the tables have turned now. The only vehicle on the field is from Siberian, and he will be harassing this infantry quite easily with a P4. There are guards. The PTRS rifles can do a bit of damage to the P4, but it is at best a very soft counter.
Finally, Siberian, he's taking back a lot of the field now, grabbing the fuels, grabbing the cutoffs, grabbing the munitions there in the center as well. Needs to get back into this territory game, because that is about the only thing that VonIvan has going for him right now, except for this T-34 which just arrived.
But he's not going to win a head-to-head battle with a P4 with a T-34. That's not going to work for him, so I'm still putting my money on Siberian right now, and he's grabbing the map after VonIvan doing basically a mirrored reaction as Siberian did when the T-70 came out. Mass retreat after that P4 killing the T-70 and forcing off the conscripts at the cutoff in the south. So he's just exiting his base with all of his units right now, and they're quite under strength as well, undermanned, running out of the base with a 3-man stolen MG and a 4-man guard and conscript squad.
Yeah, it seems like he's feeling the pressure and feeling the need to
but he has so many VPs, he should have just chilled out, took a while, reinforced his squads, you know, put up a game plan instead of just willy-nilly throwing all of his stuff up north. He's got 3 conscript squad up north now with PPSHs, at the same time moving into the center with his guards and the stolen MG42, and his T-34 just doesn't fancy the fight against this P4. It's just sitting back at the base.
Well, how many games have we seen lost by someone who just lost their cool and charged out half strength, lost everything. I mean, we must have seen that just countless times.
Yeah, it's very, very rarely, you know, maybe 1% of the games that's actually gonna work, you know. Usually it just hurts you more.
But it will almost always be better to just sit back for a minute and just think, okay.
If you have 15 VPs, sure, you gotta move out.
Yeah.
There's nothing to discuss there. But with 460 in the bank, which you had before, you can wait a few seconds.
You can definitely wait, and especially with nobody using mines in Code 2, you don't even have to worry about those.
Ooh, double Molotov goes into the building at the northern fuel, but both of the country squads are forced to retreat. There's still one behind the building, which is surprisingly freezing, standing next to a burning building.
Obviously, it's very cold flames.
How does that work?
Physics.
Physics, that's how it works. Might be a rifle nade on this, hit the dirt conscript squad. It's going to hurt quite a lot. P4 fully repaired again. He's moving against this MG42 in the building, stolen by Ivan, trying to dislodge it so he can push. Here comes the second T-34. This is what Ivan was waiting for. He's gonna go for the rifle for the P4 instantly. Ooh. Boom! Frontal penetration. Main gun is busted. Here comes the second one. Now, all of a sudden, Siberian has no AT apart from Faust. He even runs over one of the Pyos trying to repair the P4. He's gonna try and get behind it, getting some nice penetrating hits as well. There's not enough fuel in the bank to build a Stug or a P4 for Siberian, so if this P4 goes down, it's going to be tables turned once again in this game.
This is really, really bad for Siberian. I mean, where are his Grens? He's not even trying to Faust them.
His Grens is like up north, capping a little bit. Took the northern fuel. He's down in the south as well with the second 2 Grens. So his mortar in the center is forced off here. At least, you know, as that T-34 used his ramming ability, he immobilized himself and his gun as well. So there's only one T-34 instead of 2 fighting for him, but he lost his P4, so it's still, as long as Ivan can salvage this T-34 and get it repaired, it's going to be good for him. Very, very good.
Oh, that 2 conscript goes down in the south. That was his only Vet 2 squad.
Oof. These vetted Grens, Vet 2, 2, 2, and 2. 4 of them.
There goes a Faust into the rear armor and gives the Gren Vet 3 in.
And with his MG in the building, T-34 is trying to destroy the church. He needs to pack up. Very, very low health building right now. MG at 1 man. Yeah, that was a
surely
huge...
that building is going to collapse.
Nope! Get out of there!
Wow.
And he books it back to base.
Is that building still standing? It is lost.
There we go.
Yep.
It's officially a good game on Kolodny. Is this kind of like the new Semwa, even though there is a new Semwa? It's officially a good game on Kolodny when the church goes down.
Apparently so. Although it's not quite as sturdy as the Semwa church. Like,
not
the Semwa
even
church to
close.
go down required, you know, you really had to have quite a lot of artillery on the field.
Like Calliope's 105 howitzers and stuff like that.
The classic one was always the Calliopes, because they would always hit the church.
Yeah, because of the trajectory of the missiles. Yeah, the trajectory of the missiles would mean that you would like hit it all over the place. So there's been a back tech for Siberian into tier 2 actually to produce himself a pack.
Not a bad idea at all. He's facing T-34s.
It's very rarely do we see players actually back-tech in competitive heroes too. I'm not exactly sure why. People get tunnel vision or something and just keep pumping out the same unit over and over again, and then they say that something is overpowered because they threw, you know, fodder to an Su-85, for example, and they just keep building P4s or something. It's like, it doesn't work. No, it's not supposed to work.
Yeah, I mean, they're called anti-tank guns for a reason.
It's like, yeah, get a pack.
They are designed to be
get a pack, kill the Su-85, good.
Whoa, no, was that the gun destroyed?
The gun as well, yeah.
Oh dear.
I was fairly lucky though, Faust might be taking it out. Oh, main gun destroyed. Well, the T-34 is pretty okay against the support weapons like PaK and MGs and infantry altogether, so, you know, if you get circle strafed by a T-34, you're gonna get dead real quick as well. But if you get circle strafed by an Su-85, it won't happen because you don't get circle strafed by something with a fixed gun.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people just, you know, obviously complain about the Su-85, and then they just keep pumping out P4s, and it's just never going to work unless your opponent like drops his guard and gets circle strafe himself. But I've seen great usage of like pack with smoke combination, for example, from the mortar, and using attack round with his pack against Su-85s and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, no,
it's really
we've seen
cool.
a lot of cool stuff with smoke and attack rounding in our last few games.
People just gotta widen their, their tactical insight or
Widen
something.
their horizons.
Yeah. Nice focus fire from the Grens at the cutoff. Focus firing down the Comet engineers, trying to repair the T-34 that used its ramming ability on the P4 before. But now comes a new P4 out from Siberian finally. He did manage to secure himself enough fuel to get a second one on the field. And by killing the second T-34 with Faust, combined with the pack that was taken out as well, though. Yeah, he's gonna be looking good again after killing this T-34. And Ivan now has one, which is just limping back to his base with no main gun, no engine, no nothing.
Oh, that's a pretty sorry looking tank, isn't it?
It's very sorry looking. It's on fire. Turret
It's disabled.
very, very disabled.
Needs a wheelchair.
Someone needs to push it in front of him. Put it on a trolley and run it back to base like the Maxims.
Or like that mortar.
Oh yeah, the 120mm mortar on a
Yeah.
trolley too. I love those things. They
When
they run so
retreat,
quickly.
It's really funny.
It's kind of like the Nebels in Company of Heroes
Neville's
1 on roads. The brrrt.
Yeah, so much fun. Neville's on roads. It's like they gave all the crew members speed.
Yeah, something. I'm not exactly sure. One of those combat enhancing drugs, obviously, because they run real quick on roads with those little wheels turning.
They run really quick. If they made the entire German army run as fast as those guys pushing a fucking Neville, then, like, they'd have won World War II. They would have won World War II.
Easily. You wouldn't be able to hit them with those weapons in that day. It's like, oh my god, I can't hit them! They're so
They
fast!
just run into point blank range and bayonet you.
It's like lemmings or something.
Well, it's another T-34 added to the, well, I'd say Armada, but it's not really. It's one T-34 and one extremely sorry-looking T-34 with no teeth. So
He's gonna go down and repair it, so maybe with two T-34s against one P4 he can do the same trick again, ramming with one of them to disable the P4, get around the back and kill it.
fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. Can't let himself get caught out again, Siberian.
Now he has tier 2 now and he's got another pack coming onto the field, so this time he will have support to his P4. So if he has the pack in the center, for example, he gets rammed in roughly the same place as before, and he can just soft retreat away with his P4, even if it is disabled main gun on it and a damaged engine, for example. With the pack back up, the T-34 can't really engage him, especially not with Gren support and Faust. So it looks like, Siberian is looking real solid right now. He's got the unit composition that he needs to combat the tier 1, tier 3 from VonIvan, even though he hasn't really used his tier 1 for anything whatsoever. There's no M3s, no snipers, no nothing.
I bet that Siberian now, he's just really, really hoping that that Ivan does try and do the old double T-34 trick again, because obviously with that pack just waiting, they'll be running into a trap. But a few mines wouldn't hurt either from Siberian.
One teller, just put one teller on the
just
center.
One teller would make all the difference.
Oh, this guard squad retreating through the enemy position gets taken out by that
There's
new
a bunker
P4.
there. I didn't even see it
Yeah.
through the blizzard.
Yeah, he put a bunker there. Just a minute ago or so. So Ivan is trying to stabilize somehow, but he's waiting for his T-34 to get repaired before engaging this new P4. And there we go, it's fully repaired, and they're both on the move now. Might be looking into pushing against this P4 once again. That stolen MG42 needs to get out of there though before this P4 kills. Here comes the ramming.
He's gonna try it.
Same trick again.
Same trick.
Oh, the engine overheated.
Just in range of that pack as well. That's an unfortunate place.
Very, very unlucky for Ivan. Very, very unlucky. That is basically game for these T-34s, I think. The pack is turning, takes shot on the rear armor of the T-34. This P4 using Blitzkrieg to get away from the remaining T-34. He gets on the rear armor on it, however. I'm not exactly sure he's going to win this engagement. Both vehicles are a sliver of health. Oh, he might be taking it out. There we go. Destroyed another T-34. Main gun destroyed on the P4 around this small shack. The T-34 can't chase the P4 without the main gun, and the P4 can't finish off the T-34 either. Oh, it might be the mortar to get the kill here.
Mortar could definitely finish this off.
That was a pretty epic engagement, I gotta say. There we go!
There it goes.
Epic mortar is epic. It's got a vehicle kill soon, as long as that thing actually explodes. It's gonna Faust it. It's gonna get a main gun destruction on it. It's gonna be like the Burge Tiger going out of control again.
Oh god. It's like the class, it's like Seb versus Razor, the M8 in the base. Like
Oh yeah.
Crewing a pack.
And everything else.
Went slowly out of control.
This T-34 just won't die. I'm gonna go check on it later. We did have a Molotov thrown at the building in the north at the fuel. It's very contested map, this game, I gotta say. It's been switching hands back and forth constantly.
I'd like to know what the state of the crew is in this T-34. Like, are they still there, still driving it? Just like, no, it's fine, it's fine. We have no gun, we just keep driving.
The driver is dead and it's got a lead foot, so it's just like on the acceleration pedal. It's like, just keeps going.
It's only gonna die when it hits this tree.
I don't know. He's gonna Faust it again.
Faust it.
There we go.
There we go.
So did Grens get the vehicle? They have one vehicle destroyed, but the mortar was actually the one that got out of control. That's a bit
the mortar
interesting.
Didn't actually get the kill there.
No. They got some XP for the damage they dealt though, but they didn't actually get the kill. That's maybe something we should, like, tell some of the Relic developer guys.
Might be worth flagging up, yeah, because it seems a little bit lame otherwise.
Yeah, the thing that makes it go out of control should really get the kill. Because,
yeah,
you know, we've seen that before. With things out of control and they get shot a second time by something else and it explodes. And I've never really paid attention to who actually got the kill. But this time we know for a fact that, you know, the out of control shot was from the mortar, not the Grens.
Yeah, because in VCO you couldn't target out-of-control vehicles. They were just out of control. You couldn't do anything.
Which is not a bad change for Company of Heroes 2. It was kind of strange. Why can't I shoot at this tank? It's right here. You know, just because it's out of control, it's magically invincible.
Yeah, no, I think it's quite
it's a bit
good.
strange.
You know, the fact that if there is an annoying out-of-control vehicle, you can, you know, shoot it again if you need to.
Finish it off.
But, it seems weird that they would then give the kill to, you know, what makes it explode as opposed to what killed all the crew, damaged the gun, damaged the engine, and left it in a state of not being able to do anything.
Maybe there's some thought behind this whole thing, or it's just a plain oversight. Leave us a comments in the comments, guys, for this video, and tell us what you think, and yeah, we'll go from there. It's interesting. What do you think about that? Should the exploding shot get the kill, or the out of control shot get the kill? Because if it's out of control, it's going to die after a while, but I guess it's technically not still dead until it actually explodes. I don't know how to look at it, but I think the out of control thing should, you know, that's the killing shot in my book.
Yeah, exactly. We have another T-34 goes down, and actually now that brings Ivan's army into a state of disrepair, really.
Disarray, disrepair.
One engineer, one MG42, and nothing else. He is, however, building another T-34, but I don't think it's really going to cut it when he's got two P4s.
Yeah, Tier 1 was a mistake for Ivan, I think, and I see quite a lot of players do this. They build Tier 1 just as a stopgap to Tier 3, and they try to go for a fast T-70 and win the game that way, very fast, with a very fast, aggressive play of the T-70, and it doesn't work, and then all of a sudden they find themselves without AT gun supports for their T-34s, and that usually never works.
Whoa, that blitzkrieg is quick.
Ooh, 60 side skirts on this P4, which means it's going to be playing with this T-34 easily.
It just ran over a bunch of conscripts as well as it reversed. Like, fuck you guys. If you weren't dead before, now you really are. Just been flattened.
Flattened conscripts all over the field. We have some Panzer Grenadiers out from Siberian as well, but his army is very, very large right now. 4 Grens, all the same that he started with. 3 of them Vet 3, 1 Vet 2. He's got that P-Gren squad, 2 Pios to repair these P4s instead of just the first initial one. He's got an MG, the mortar is still alive at Vet 2, the pack is at Vet 2, one of the P4s at Vet 2 as well. His army is extremely battle hardened right now, and it will just mince the remaining Soviet army without a problem, in my opinion. There we go, a new
Gonna try it.
ramming attempt. He's gonna get the gun.
Killed it.
And
The ram killed it off.
that's basically all she wrote. He might have disabled one of them, but there's still a second one.
And even then, it's just ready
He
to
can-
be repaired straight away.
Yeah, he can just kill the bunkers in the base and walk right in with his vetted infantry and just execute them in their own headquarters, basically. That wouldn't be a problem for Siberian right now. I believe that VonIvan has had enough. There's probably some after-game shatter going on. GG, GG. P4's OP. What could I have done
Man, with
differently?
those side skirts and their Porsche,
Porsche engines, yeah. Their Blitzkrieg.
their Kropfsteel.
Very, I don't know. The game
Fluid.
was fluid, yeah, and quite a lot of map changing hands over and over again. Very map territorial battle, I have to say.
Yeah, there was a lot of push and pull, a lot of, you know, the map seemed to go from sort of 90% one player, 90% to the other player.
Yeah.
And then, you know, something crazy would happen, and then it would switch again. So it was plenty of interesting engagements, plenty of fun moments in that game. Do leave us a comment, especially about the issue of units going out of control, getting the kill versus the unit that actually makes the thing explode. Because that's quite an interesting point, actually. It's something that we haven't really noticed up until now.
No.
But it bears thinking about. So do let us know in the comments. Do like us on Facebook if you can, and retweet us, and we will see you next time.
See you guys.